And we are back on the build phase. I'm your host, Mr. Ben, and on today's episode, we are going to handle the first ever draft for our first ever Radlands event. For anyone who is not familiar, we'll start right there. Welcome to the Radlands is going to be a build phase hosted event to celebrate the release of this awesome game, Radlands. Players in this game get a variety of powers from their camps, as well as camps being a way that you track health and essentially the victory condition in the game. In order to make this event kind of cool and crazy, we're taking a step away from the actual rules of Radlands, and instead of players drawing 6 random camps from a pool of 34 at the start of each game, we are going to each draft 6 camps that we have for the duration of the event. This draft is going to take as long as it takes, but we're going to be here until everybody has their 6 camps. So we have a couple players who did not yet submit their draft lists to me, and anybody who didn't submit their draft list is going to get the Joe draft. So we're going to fill that in. There are 3 copies of each camp. Junk all cards for Raiders. I actually agree with that comment here in the chat. I do think all cards can be junked for Raiders. So we are gonna lost my train of thought there for a second because there was such good advice coming out of the chat with regard to how you use your Raider cards or how you use your people cards that can be junked for Raiders. So, hey, Pierce. So we're going to start here. This list is actually in the order of the draft. So we're starting with Mike, going all the way down to our 14th player here, which is Pierce. And as each one of these camps gets picked out, I'm going to mark it off in this grid to hopefully help myself stay organized and not make any mistakes. You may notice some of these camps have numbers next to them and some of them don't. That's just the way the people submitted them to me. I started to delete the numbers off and I realized that was going to take a long time. So I was like, nah, let's not do that. So camp number 1, Mike is going to get his first pick of the garage. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? This is how we're going to keep track of it here. Garage. Mike. Okay, so now there's only 2 copies of the garage left in the pool. Since he did get this one, just as a record keeping, I'm going to mark that as bold. Now we're going to go on to the second player. That's going to be Tavon. He is going to get the railgun. You know, if I thought this through, I would have had somebody doing the typing for me. Is it a heated garage? Yeah, we could use a heated garage here in Iowa, man. I'll tell you what. Then we're going to go to Ryan, who is also going to get a railgun. Yeah, I do agree that garage is a really good first pick. So Ryan. So far, everybody's getting their first pick. Whitman comes in with the Omen Clock, which is what my first pick is ultimately going to be. I have a feeling some people are going to make a little fun of me once we get down to the bottom, because I did not actually place Obelisk at the bottom of my camp list, like I said I was going to. So, actually, to take a step away from the draft itself for just a second and talk about strategy, I think in a regular game where you get to draw 6 cards and you kind of pick your synergy, you have a little bit more control, and that actually impacts how much I evaluated some of these camps. So in this draft situation where I wasn't really sure what camps I was going to end up with, it caused some of my evaluations to move when I was like, well, if I get this but I can't guarantee I have something to pair with it, that's no good. And it looks like I can't spell. It looks like our first camp is fully taken. So there are no more railguns available for any players for the rest of the draft. And I can already see garage is about to go pretty fast too. So next up we have garage with Rad Sam. And that's going to be, going to make that bold so I know he got that one. Scud Launcher. Scud Launcher is another one that I think is a pretty reasonable first pick. I really like the head games that you can play with it, and the bigger the skill imbalance between the player who has the Scud launcher and the player who's being launched, the better or worse the card can potentially be. So Nate got the first Scud launcher. And I think this is our last garage right here going to Dice Z. Yep, sure is. Let's see, did I place cannon above railgun? Cannon? I did not place cannon above railgun, so I can't be on the side of weird. Normally I would be. Alright, so Omen Clock. You know, there's a chance that Whitman might have been influenced by me in putting Omen Clock at the top of his list. Then we had, this is going to be our last Omen Clock here, going to Cloud Art. Alright, so Parachute Base going to Amy. And I did spell that with an M, in case there was any confusion. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention at the start of the draft. Draft order was actually selected by a person who was, or set up by a person who's not playing in this event. Joe, a member of Team Build Phase, so he's not totally a disinterested third party because we hang out all the time. But he set up the draft order for players who either didn't want to deal with choosing their own camps, which is totally fine, or that just didn't have the time to figure out what they wanted. So he set that up, as well as recording a video that was posted into the Build Phase Rad chat showing how he randomized and then selected draft order, just in case anybody was curious about the process of how we got our picks here. Next we have Rick with the Scavenger Camp. Yeah, your first pick I think is my last pick. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Scavenger Camp. If I misspell anybody's names while we're doing the draft here, I apologize. So he cannot get his how do I do strike through text? Control Alt. Just trying to do a little bit of record keeping as we go in case I have to forensically go back through this draft and correct a mistake or something. So Talus is not going to be able to get the railgun because it is gone. His second pick is Atomic Garden, so he's going to go, or Thalus I should say. I'm not totally sure how to pronounce that. If I say anybody's name wrong, again, I apologize. I have a last name that's hard to pronounce, so I do take seriously trying to say people's names the right way, but it doesn't work out for every time. All right, looks like Pierce is going to get the Outpost with his first pick. So just before we go any further, let's take a look at everybody's round one picks here. So most people got their first pick. There was only one player within all of round one who did not actually get their first pick, and that's Thalus with the Atomic Garden. Railgun, Omen Clock, and Garage are all gone. I don't find that surprising. Garage in particular, I don't find that surprising, going really quick. And then we have a few people who were just one-ofs in whatever their first pick was. So that's kind of an interesting place to end up after round one. Moving into round two, Pierce's first pick. Can I remember how to do this? Yeah, there we go. Is the Garage, or his second pick is the Garage, so he's not going to be able to get that because Garage is already gone. And next up we have Catapult. So let's find Catapult on Joe's list. Had I been thinking ahead, I would have made the list where I put everybody's names as they got stuff alphabetical instead of just deciding to use Joe's list. Next up, moving backwards, Thalus already has Atomic Garden, so we're going to go to Pillbox. Oh, I should bold that. So Pillbox for his pick here. Then Rick is going to attempt to get the Omen Clock, but cannot because it is gone, and he's going to be the first player to snag a Victory Totem. Victory Totem. No Omen Clock for Amy, I'm afraid. No Garage, but coming in fourth pick with Scud Launcher is still a pretty solid choice, I think. You know, just because a list has things ordered differently, I don't necessarily think that automatically makes it weird or negative. Like, if you think about the game in a way that's a little bit different than everybody else, games like Cards Against Humanity, more than anything else, have taught me I just don't think about the world the same way as everybody else. I still love my friends and family, but we just do not. The things that I see that are funny in like Apples to Apples or Cards Against Humanity, nobody even laughs. It's not that it's not the funniest thing. It's nobody even gets what I'm going at. So having a list that doesn't look like anybody else's list, I think is pretty acceptable, honestly. As long as it works for you. If you're getting the what you want out of it, then that's totally fine to be different, in my opinion. Okay, so second pick for Cloud Art. You know, if I was smart, I would color code these picks, but next time. This will be a cleaner draft next time, I promise everybody. So Mercenary Camp going to Cloud Art. I bet if I had Joe here, he'd keep me on topic. Next up, Garage, which I do not get a Garage because it's gone. Outpost. Is this going to be our last Outpost? I feel like we've had... Nope, only one Outpost so far. So my second pick, I secure. Then Dicey wants an Omen Clock. Unfortunately, he can't have it, or they can't have it because it's already gone. Another thing, if I use anybody's wrong pronouns, I apologize. I only know people through the internet. I try to do my best, and I do care. And if I use the wrong pronouns when talking about one of our players, if you let me know, I will correct that in the future. But I'm doing it out of ignorance, not out of malice. I should same thing with mispronunciation names, just to be clear. Okay, so Dicey is going to get the Resonator. First person on the Resonator here. You know what else would be cool is if I had like some sick background music pumping while I was doing all this. Just all these ways to do this better for next time. So the Garage is gone, unfortunately, for Nate. He's not going to be able to get that. I think the Scavenger Camp is still good, though. So let's find Scavenger Camp on our list here. Put Nate down with his second choice. Zip back over here. And then Omen Clock. You know what I should do, actually, is find and replace all these. Supply Depot for Rad Sam. Man, the deeper this gets, the more I'm going to struggle. I think we still have an Atomic Garden left for Thrawn. We sure do. So we'll mark him down for that. Oh man, I'm going to have to add more because we all have to get 6. Didn't think this through. Garage is gone. Whitman's going to take an early Juggernaut. Not in hot contention, the Juggernauts. Juggernaut. Is there any Atomic Gardens left? There sure are. Okay, so Ryan's going to get an Atomic Garden. So when there's 3, I'm going to bold this because I'm going to have to add more columns as people get into their... so this is gone. This is... Oh, wait, can't just skip past him. What am I doing? Sure, have it... You know, had I thought through the nuts and bolts of how each little element of this would work, I probably would have said, hey, does anybody want to help? So I appreciate that offer there in the chat. And who got the pillbox? It was Tavon. So mark that B. Hold on. I'm double checking myself here. So Ryan should have, yeah, the last Atomic Garden. Okay. And then you're not going to be able to get an Omen Clock, I'm afraid. But I do think a training camp is in the cards for Mike. Training camp. Mike. Then we'll loop back around. So Mike is going to, I believe, be able to get that command post because I don't think it's gone. Yep, in fact, that's the first one. Yeah, people miss playing Juggernaut. It could definitely be it might be more a comment about players knowing that it's a risk. Misplaying that card is legit. So rather than deal with, ooh, I don't want to make mistakes with it, Cannon for Tavon, people may have ranked it lower just to avoid having to think about it, and it may be less a comment on the overall power level. I think that's a good comment there in chat from Pika22. Pillbox for Ryan. Do we have any pillboxes left? We do. This will be the last one. Control B. Then Whitman wants an outpost. This is going to reveal to everybody how bad I am at reading things quickly. So that's our last available outpost. Then Pillbox, I'm pretty sure that's gone. Let me double check real fast. Pillbox is gone. Then Cannon. Do we have any cannons left? Let's see. If I can scroll over. Yes. And that was Thrawn. Control B. Outpost for Sam. I think the last one's gone. It is. So that's gone. Then we have a transplant lab. I'm pretty sure you're going to get that one because I don't remember saying those words out loud yet. Transplant lab. Yep. So Sam gets the transplant lab. B. Then Omen Clock. We know that one's gone. One of the first ones to go. Then the Watchtower for Nate. Watchtower for Nate. Go back over here. So next in line, we got the arcade for Dicey. In my strategy series, I think I'm going to tackle events. Arcade. Dicey. And then do people as the last segment, and maybe even break people down, because there's a couple different things that I think you can talk about when evaluating people in Radlands. It's not just what they do on the board, it's what they do. The junk effects are so strong, so powerful, and I think a lot of new players are a little bit reluctant to use them for kind of good reason, because the people tend to be pretty good and powerful, and in a lot of games you get really punished when you discard cards from your hand. Like, that's not always the best strategy in a lot of games. Moving on to Cloud Art, he's going to want a command post, and he's going to get it. Alright, so we'll make that one blue. Raiders is the only event that matters. Yeah. I mean, if you can. In a way, every other event is Plan B. But knowing what Plan B is, there's going to be games that if you only know the Raider strategy and you totally eschew ever using any other events, you're going to lose some games that you could have otherwise won, because if the Raider strategy doesn't come together for you, you can end up not doing anything with the event track, and that's kind of like trying to fight on a three-legged stool with only two legs, sort of. So Supply Depot for Amy. See how easy it is for me to just start going off on a riff about something else. Let me double check that last one, because I started to ramble. Command post for Cloud Art. Let me make sure that that's correct. Yeah, okay. And then Supply Depot for Amy. Yeah, and that should be her third pick. So once we get done here, everybody should have 3. Right? Yeah, because we went down 2, 3. Yeah. Rick May wants an outpost. Is he going to get it? I can't run. Nope, he will not. Then he wants a Juggernaut. He can have that one, I'm pretty sure. Rick and Whitman. Well, you're in good company, Rick. Then we want a cannon for Thalas. I don't know. Either way. Whatever the right way is, that's the way I wish I was saying it. Cannon. This is going to be the last one. And scavenger camp for Pierce. And that is our last scavenger camp. Okay, so now we're starting to get into some of the higher picked camps. Oh, and this one should be bolded too. Have been picked off entirely, and we've got these kind of gaps. I have to say, I'm really surprised to see Scud Launcher go this deep. I thought that would have been gone in round 1. I'm not surprised to see things like Obelisk still on the table for any player who wants it. Okay, well that brings us to the end of round 3. So from here on out, I hadn't planned this out initially because I was only thinking about keeping track of the camp pool and not where am I going to keep track of the player choices. So what I'm going to do for these ones over here is we're going to type it in using a different color font. So that way I won't be able to make the mistake of giving somebody a fourth copy of the same camp. Like if there's 3 names here, then there can't be any names over here, and that's a check against me making an error because there's a lot going on. All right, so now we're looping back around. So Pierce gets 2 picks in a row, and he is, I believe, going to take the last Juggernaut with this. Yep, that's the last Juggernaut. Control B. Oh, yeah, well, there was a little bit of a few days between submission and when we're doing this, and if you played some games, I don't know what VOI means. What does VOI FYI mean? Oh, I'm sure chat will tell me at some point. All right, so Pierce going into round 4, his round 4 top pick is Juggernaut. We're moving on to Thalas, who wants a victory totem, and that's going to be the last one of those. So we're going to bold this off here. Then we move to Rick, who wants the garage, but he can't have it. Then he wants the atomic garden, but he can't have it. Then he wants the labor camp. Do we have a labor camp for Rick? I think we do. I don't feel like I've said labor camp out loud. Oh, wow, that's the first one. So labor camp got pretty deep into the draft before it got picked up. Cannon, I'm pretty sure is gone. Yeah. Warehouse, I think you're going to get that one, Amy. Yep, you sure do. Then arcade for cloud art. I feel like this is going to be the last arcade. I feel like I've said this twice before. Nope, only once. Okay, so arcade for cloud art. B. I am going to get a scavenger camp. No, I'm not. I am going to try for an atomic garden, and no, I'm not. I'm going to try for a Scud Launcher. Am I going to get it? Yep, I sure am. Last Scud Launcher. I don't think that Oasis is going to come back to me, though, which I kind of like. Next up, we have Dice Z looking for a training camp. Is he going to get it? Training camp, where are you? Yes, he is. Dice Z. The risk of doing something wrong is getting higher the deeper we get into this. All right, Nate wants the Adrenaline Lab. I believe that's the first time I've said those words, so he's going to get it. Oh, I know. Look at this. We have 2 Nate first picks on camps. There's another one who's got a little bit of a different take on things than some of the other players. Although, given his performance in our dice throwing competitions, he clearly knows something. Rad Sam, we have Scavenger Camp. Scavenger Camp for Rad Sam. Where are we going here? You think after I've looked at this list, oh, it's all maxed out, so he won't get that one. Victory Totem, I think that one's gone too. Yeah, Victory Totem's gone. Command Post. You're gonna get that one, dude. Rad Sam gets a Command Post. Victory Totem is gone. Scud Launcher, that's gone, right? I got the last one. Yeah, okay. Nest of Spies. I think you're going to get that, Thrawn. Yep, you're going to be the first. Scavenger Camp, I feel like I said that one's gone twice already. Yeah, I sure did. I know the Atomic Garden's gone. Pretty sure Resonator's still up for grabs. Resonator, Whitman's going to grab one of those. Nope. There we go. Cannon. Victory Totem. Hold on, let me double check the cannon. Is that right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure Ryan is locked in for that Nest of Spies. He sure is. And is this going to be the last one here? Yeah, that's going to go to Tavon, I believe. Yep. Closing out Nest of Spies. And last pick for this round. Mike, are you going to get an arcade? I think so. Yep. Mike gets an arcade to close out round 4. Going in. I know the Atomic Garden's gone. Scavenger Camp, that's gone, right? Yep. Victory Totem's gone. Scud Launcher's gone. Ooh, here comes the first Oasis take. Is Oasis going to make it back to me? Oasis. Mike gets the first Oasis. Here we go. Next up, Catapult. Tavon, I think you're going to get the Catapult. Yep. Catapult, Control B, and then Ryan's going to get that last Catapult. I think there was one left, right? Catapult, yep. Whitman's going to get an Oasis. Oh, man. And Thrawn wants a Catapult, but he is not going to get it because it's gone. Instead, he's going to get... I lost track of him. There he is. The Obelisk. Our first Obelisk take of the day is going to go to John, or Thrawn. Here we go. Where is it? Obelisk. Atomic Garden is gone. Arcade. Ooh, I don't know if Arcade's gone. Arcade is gone. Labor Camp. Is Labor Camp done? Nope. Alright, so that was... Oh, shoot. Who was that? It was Rad Sam is going to get the Labor Camp. Yeah, next time we do this, having some people who can just like talk and do analysis and talk about people's lineups as we go through this would be really cool. Just did not think about it in advance. Ah, there goes the last Oasis. No. Whoa, wait, no, hold on. I misread. Nate has Parachute Base above Oasis. Hold up. Nate gets a Parachute Base. Not an Oasis. Look at that. as soon as I get to talking, that's when the mistakes happen. Next up is Nest of Spies, which I think is tapped out. Yeah, Nest of Spies is tapped out for Dice C, so he's not going to be able to have that one. Next up, the Octagon. I have not said that today for sure, so he's going to get it. Dice C gets the Octagon. Control B, and we're back on me, and I'm going to get the Oasis. I almost feel bad now. I made that mistake and took it away from myself and was sad, but here I am the one doing the draft. Ew, I don't like how that looks. I mean, you all saw it happen in real time. I'm clearly not putting my thumb on the scale here, but I still don't like the way that went down. All right, Cloud Art is next. Training Camp is his top choice. At this juncture, where is it? There it is. All right, so that's going to be the last one of those. Man, it's annoying how I can go up and down the list 2 times and not. Well, that's why we double check. Wow, so look at some. Well, I'll let it get to the end of the round and then I'll make some more comments. So next up is Amy. Looking at the Atomic Garden, not going to get it because that's been gone for a while. Looking at the Training Camp, I'm pretty sure the last one just went. It did. Looking at the Arcade, I feel like that's gone too. Adrenaline Lab, I think you're going to get that one. Yep, you and Nate. In good company there in the Adrenaline Lab. Control B. Pillbox, I feel like that's been gone for a while. It has. Railgun has been gone. Was that the first one to go? I feel like that might have been the first one to go. I can't remember already though. Rick May. And then we have Thalos with the Scud Launcher. That is Gonzo. Nest of Spies is gone, right? Yeah, Catapult is gone. Oh, Obelisk take number 2. Where is that pesky little obelisk? There we go. Okay, Omen Clock's been gone for a while. Oasis got snatched up. Atomic Garden got snatched up. Mercenary Camp. You're going to get that one. Okay, so before I go any further, I think it's kind of interesting. I noticed on Cloud Art, if you look, he's gotten his top 5 picks just boom, 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 boom. He hasn't missed a one. There's no strikeouts on that. We've got most of the rest of us have had our first round picks kind of Swiss cheese. Dicey got a lot of what he wanted, only 2 crossed. I had 3 crossed off. Right, that's kind of an interesting trend. There's only one player that has had a unique enough list of priorities and landed at the right place of the draft that they've gotten all 5 of their top 5. Now he's not going to get his top 6. I can already see. In fact, let's just do that right here. So this is gone. That's gone. I'm pretty sure Scavenger Camp is gone. Let's double check Scavenger Camp. Where is it? Yeah, Scavenger Camp is gone. How about Outpost? Outpost is gone. Pretty sure the Victory Totem's gone. So it's going to drop way down before he gets his next pick. But those top 5, that's a cool list. That's an interesting thing to have happen. Okay, so next up, we're going to wrap back around in the Snake Draft. And this is our last round. So everybody's going to get their 6th pick here. And I was thinking there would be more names, but that doesn't make any sense. That's what I get for trying to think on my feet, I guess. I have to think in a quiet room under no pressure or else I make mental errors. Okay, so Pierce, you're going to get the final Obelisk. I cannot believe Obelisk actually fully went in this draft. Wow. Well, it is what it is. All right. People believe in it. Maybe I'm the one who's wrong. I actually had a good game with the Obelisk on Friday, but the camps I paired it with and the cards I drew, like, it was luck city for me to have that good game with Obelisk. Nonetheless, I cannot deny that it is picked in the middle. It's not towards the end. Nobody's even gotten the bonfire or the construction yard yet at all, and the Obelisk is fully drafted out. B. Okay, next up, command post for Thawless. I think that's gone. This should be bold. It's not, but it should be. Then we have the reactor. Reactor. Where are we going? Is this the first reactor? Oh, it is. Look at that. I haven't said reactor all day today. Then adrenaline lab for Rick. There it is. You're not going to get the Oasis, I'm afraid. Amy, I think you will get the Octagon, though. Wow, look at this. Again, Amy hanging out with Dicey. Wasn't there another one where they were the only two on it? Oh, there's a couple where it was Rick and Amy were the first. Interesting. It's kind of how some of the players who have like some of the more offbeat choices have still kind of clumped around similar camps. It's kind of a cool flow to the draft. Not trying to put anybody's picks on the hot seat or anything. All right, so Cloud Art. I already went through Garage, Scud Launcher, Scud. Yeah, those are all for sure gone. Is Octagon? Did Amy get the last one? No. So there's going to be one more for Cloud Art here. And that will close out. That's the final Octagon pick. I'm a little surprised that one went so early. Maybe I'm just bitter because I like the Octagon in real life, and it let me down in this game. It's not good enough. Whoops, arcade should be, command post is gone, right? Yeah. Supply depot. I feel like I haven't said that very many times. Oh, yeah, so I'm going to drop down here with Amy and Sam in the supply depot, and that'll be my 6th pick. Dice Z, looking at a victory totem. Afraid not, my friend. Atomic Garden, same story. Mercenary Camp, that one I'm not sure. Yep, you're going to get it. Dice Z. So now the Mercenary Camp is closed out. Next up, Nate is wanting an Oasis. I know that one's gone because I almost gave him the Oasis. I'm pretty sure the arcade's gone. And Blood Bank. Yep, you're going to get the Blood Bank, Nate. So make that bold. Next up, we have Sam looking for the construction yard. I'm pretty sure I said out loud nobody had that one yet. Yep. That's Sam. So I'll make that bold. Command post for Thrawn. I'm so sure that's gone. Double check. I don't want to make mistakes. Yeah, it is gone. Reactor. I think he's going to get that, though. Reactor. Yep. Thrawn gets a reactor. Arcade is gone. Sorry, Wit. Railgun's been gone a long time. I don't remember Supply Depot, though. Oh, yeah, it should be bolded. I missed a step there in my record keeping. So no Supply Depot for you, Whitman. What about Transplant Lab? Do we have a Transplant Lab? Man, this side scroll is way too sensitive. So Whitman's going to get the final Transplant Lab. Then the Obelisk. Sorry, I did not think I was going to have to say you're not allowed to have the Obelisk, but here we are. I think John got the last reactor, right? Nope, there's one reactor left. Okay, so who was I on again? Looks like here. Yeah, so Ryan's going to get the final reactor. Back over. Can't have the obelisk. Can't have the command post. Can't have the reactor. I don't remember about Mercenary Camp, so let's scroll back over here. Mercenary Camp is indeed gone. Juggernaut. Is Juggernaut gone? Yep. Should be bolded, but I messed up. So no Juggernaut for you. I think the Octagon's gone too, right? Yep, Octagon is gone. I think Outpost is gone. Now we're getting down to the fun ones where I really gotta, if I could just remember a little better. But I'm old. Scavenger Camp, I feel like that one's gone too. Yep. But Resonator, I think he's going to get. Is it open? It sure is. So Tavon is going to get the Resonator for his 6th pick. Resonator. I wrote Resonator instead of his name, didn't I? Oh my goodness. I should have made a video and then posted it instead of doing this live. I would look less silly. Okay, I'm pretty sure Supply Depot is gone. It is indeed, so we'll mark that one off. Transplant Lab, I feel like that one's gone too, but I want to double check. It is. Blood Bank. I don't feel like I've said the words Blood Bank that many times. No, Blood Bank is up for grabs. So our last pick here, going to Mike, is going to be for the Blood Bank. And there we have our overall draft. Now I realize this chart here is not the easiest to read. It's not in alphabetical order. Your names aren't grouped. But what I'll do is type this up where each player has their name and then their 6 camps, and I will add that to the player roster. So if you're not already in the Build Phase Discord, the Rad Chat is where I have this posted. You should definitely get into that Build Phase Discord if you are going to participate in this event or are signed up and participating in this event. I will do some more analysis on the camps that are left on the table. Like there's a few here. Bonfire, for instance. I think in an event like this, Bonfire is its worst possible use case because you're going to be playing against players who care enough about the game that they're not going to get caught by surprise by Bonfire. Bonfire is a casual only card for sure. Not surprised to see that it wasn't picked by anybody. It's very low on everybody's list. It is kind of interesting to me, not too many of the players ended up deep down into their mid-range picks. Most everybody got 6 picks out of their top. Well, let's see. So this is the deepest we went on anybody, and that's an outlier. If we cut that, the next deepest was 14, which was a few people, or rank 13, which was a few people, but several. I mean, again, using Cloud Art as an example, 5 out of 5 on his top 5 picks. That's amazing. All right, so this was our draft. I'm gonna wrap this up here. You've been